Hello, my most amazing artists. So it's October 1st, and our next lesson is going to be how to draw pumpkins. And we're going to talk about the element of art value. Value is when a color goes from dark to light or from light to dark. And we can get those different values by pushing down on crayons for darker values and by moving our hands really lightly on lighter values. We can also do that with colored pencils by making hatch marks, and you can see all of that in the value lesson that's posted in modules under the Element of Art Value module. So I'm going to show you some examples of sketched pumpkins. And if you were on the Zoom call this week, this is what we did on Zoom. I just wanted to give you guys that weren't able to go a more in-depth explanation of how to do it. So here's one that I did with crayons, markers, and colored pencils, 3 different types of media. This one is crayons only, or crayons and colored pencils, sorry. And this one is crayon only. Even the little kids can draw pumpkins this way. It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna stop talking now and I am going to start drawing, and I'll walk you through how to draw a realistic looking pumpkin for October. Happy drawing. All right, guys, so we are going to be drawing pumpkins. I already showed you some photos of pumpkins, and I just want you to remember that no pumpkin is alike, and so all of our artwork should look completely different from each other's. So pumpkins are not just round. They are made up of different segments, so we're going to start with one of those segments. And you should be drawing with a crayon, and we're drawing in a sketchy style. We're going to start by making an oval. And it's okay if it's kind of a wonky oval. Once I've got my wonky oval done, I'm going to add the letter C to the side of it. And then I'm going to kind of make it look like a funny hot dog by adding a backwards C to the other side of it. I'm going to do that again over here. And this drawing video might be a little bit longer than our guided drawing videos just because of the nature of what we're doing. And then we're going to put another one over here. And the further out we get, we can make them a little bit rounder. You could keep going if you want to, or you can stop here. I'm going to stop here. The next thing that we're going to add is a stem. Pumpkins grow on vines, and so their stems are really kind of wonky. They almost just look like a witch's hat. So give it a really wobbly, wonky stem. Once you have the stem done, we're going to add a part back here that's going to make it look 3D. So this makes our pumpkin look like it's going back in space. It makes it look round. And we can do that same thing here on the bottom. Then we're going to add some lines in the middle. And as we add these lines, we might want to darken up the value of the first lines we put down. So that way we don't lose them. I'm going to put some lines in my stem as well. And then to make it to where my pumpkin does not look like it's just floating in outer space, I'm going to put a drop shadow underneath, which is also using value to make it darker under the pumpkin. And then as we come out, we're going to loosen up on that pressure. Pressure is how hard I'm pushing. I'm going to drag that drop shadow out here so my pumpkin doesn't look like it's in outer space. Okay, Next, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to color on these, and then I'm going to speed up the video and color it pretty quick. Yeah, although I might just slow down the color on this. Okay. So when your pumpkin's done, you're going to grab anything that's kind of like nature colored, greens, oranges, browns. You can use different stuff mixed together. Maybe toss a yellow in there. And I'm gonna get out my markers too, because it's gonna be easier to show you this with markers. I'm using these watercolor markers, but you can use Crayola markers, really anything. Sorry, hold tight. Okay, all right. So we're gonna start by adding our darker values. Markers are always gonna have the heaviest value. And so I can just put some marker down where I did these lines inside each register. And then you can add darker values with something else. Crayon, pushing down on this crayon. Back here is going to be real dark. And under here. Wherever the light's not, if this pumpkin was real, it would be darker in the back and on the bottom where the light isn't hitting it as well. Pumpkins are all different colors too, and some people paint pumpkins. So if you want to draw your pumpkin with polka dots on it, and I'll show you guys an artist at the end of this video that does decorated pumpkins. They're pretty cool. And now I'm going to go in with a lighter value. I'm doing this quick because I didn't turn on the time lapse. And I'm coloring over my darker values because that's just going to add more value to them, or more a darker value to them. Okay, and then you can do your stem. I'm going to use browns and greens on my stem. I'm going to do some darker by pressing on a color pencil. Put a little bit of green in there. I'm kind of scattering my color out, and then I can go in and add my last color. Oh yeah, and last but not least, pumpkins grow on vines, so they usually have some type of little like curly cue coming off of the stem. So there you go. That's how to draw a pumpkin in a realistic way. You can fill in your background, do whatever you want with it. Stay tuned for an awesome artist that paints pumpkins and posts these on Padlet. You're awesome, amazing.